Okay, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It's me again, Insane Gorilla. Now, welcome back to What If Deku Was a Mandalorian? As we saw, last time, as you guys have most probably started to see now, or later on, depending on whatever time you get up, or ever get round to watching it. This is What If Deku Was a Mandalorian again. I've just uploaded 2 videos today and decided, you know what? Fuck it. Well, screw it. Screw it, I'm gonna upload a third. So I'm being a bit ballsy with this. As we last left off, Deku just got the name of the girl he has been fighting with, as her name is Idril Ren. As, well, you know, they had the little fight where she threw her somewhat skirt at him, and she gives him a rather nice compliment. Anyway, there you go. She fully gets dressed and leaves. But before she does, she pecks Izuku on the cheek, saying, "That's just to make sure that to make sure that there's no hard feelings between any of us. It doesn't mean anything, so don't take it as such. You're strong, and as I said, Mandalorian women love a strong man." As Mandalore walks in saying, "Midoriya, Ren, I need you for a task. And it's rather important." Isidril Ren and Izuku Midoriya walk over to Mandalore. Deku goes onto his knee, takes a knee and bows, and says, "Yes, Mandalore." As Idril does the same. As he says, "Stand up, both of you. There's no time for this. I need your help." As Idril says, "Why do you need my help? I thought you hated House Wren." As Mandalore says, "I don't hate them, I'm just disappointed in them. Saxon are the ones I hate at the minute. And after what I was told from Inko Midoriya and Alex Midoriya as well, Saxons and Ren have two completely different views." Anyway, you said you wanted to go and see Midoriya's homeworld, didn't you? As Idril Ren says, "Oh, yes, I want to go and see it. He's spoken about it a lot, saying how much of a beautiful place it is, and that he knows people there. And I honestly want to go and see the planet." As Mandalore says, "Well, you're both going to said planet." As Idril's happy, saying, "Oh, I get to see where he grew up then." As Deku sort of says, "But Mandalore, why send us to there? We're nothing. We're just warriors of two different clans." As Idril says, "Well, mostly to other clans. After all, us two have been sparring for some time. As Mandalore says, I want you to go to that planet called Earth. Azuki, you know the planet well because you lived there, so you have the full lead on this one. As Azuki bows his head, saying, Yes, Mandalore, we'll get this mission done. As Mandalore says, this mission will be a trial for you, Izuku, and a trial for you, Ren. Izuku, your trial is to get, as he pulls up an image, well, a hologram saying this item from the planet. As it reveals a handle of a unique shape. As Deku says, You want me to retrieve a handle, do you? As he says, Yes. It's in the hands of a individual. We don't know his full name, but he goes by the name of All for One on your homeworld. As Ren, well, not Ren, just Idril just sort of sniggers and laughs, says, What a strange name. Who the hell comes up with a stupid name like that? As Deku says, My people have abilities. They call them quirks. As Idril just says, Right. Sounds like some crazy force power, if you ask me. As Mandalore looks at her with a bit of a disturbed look, saying, Ren, this is not a laughing matter here. Your one's worse. And she looks up, saying, Why is mine worse? Because you have to go with him. And she says, Doesn't seem too bad to me. I get to see his homeworld, see how everybody lives there. Yes, but your job is to find this. As he sends her an image, well, also brings up another hologram of a cube. As he says, this is in the household of the Midoriyas. I do not know where the Midoriyas live, and he cannot tell you. You have to find this out yourself. And she says, Great. So we both need to find our objects and bring them back. As he says, Yes, you do. I will not allow failure. If you come back with one, it will be considered a failure. You need to come back with both. No questions asked. Understood? Yes, Mandalore. As they both say, yes, Mandalore. As he says, good. Your mission starts now. Get going. I've also given you a ship for you to go. As Alex and Inko walk in, saying you're finally sending these two off on a mission. As Mandalore just turns around and nods his head, saying, Yes. As Idril and Izuku walk out, as they walk to the spaceport, docking areas on Mandalore. No, landing pads. There we go, landing pads. As well, few House not Vizsla, a few House Saxons ambushed them both outside, saying the Wrens do not understand. We will teach them a lesson, starting with you. As they both get into a combat stance as the Saxons attack them. And by the way, the Saxons and Wrens have had another massive falling out, where the Wrens have finally decided to call off their alliance with House Saxon. As they continue having their fight, eventually a pistol is drawn on Wren, and Deku brings his own pistol out. As they begin a small firefight. Eventually, Mandalore's house, or the Mandalorians from the Mandalore's personal clan, eventually appear with Ren close behind, firing at Clan Saxon. As the individuals break off, saying this isn't over, as they leave. As one of them throws a hologram, as it activates, saying, as it's actually a message, saying, this is the leader of the Saxon clan of House Saxon. We have contacted the Empire, and we will have peace. The false Mandalorians that reject peace and stability from the Empire will have no mercy from us. When our Imperial allies arrive, lay down your arms and let peace and prosperity reign for all eternity. As the message gets cut off by a blasted bolt. As the Mandalorians tell Idril and Izuku to get going, Mandalore have said that you two have a mission, so get going. As they leave. Eventually getting to the ship, which is, well, all in all, an old cruiser from the older Mandalorian era, when the Old Republic was still around. As they both say, big ship for just the two of us. As another Mandalorian said, that's not your ship, that's mine. As they say, Mandalore said we had a ship that we have on our own. As a Mandalorian says, are you two Izuku Midoriya and Idril Ren? As they both nod, saying yes. As the Mandalorian says, follow me. As they head to a, small ship. As Idril says, this is a cargo ship. This is a cargo runner. A small one, in fact. As the Mandalorian says, yes, it can fit up to 5 people. 5 to 6 people. So it will do for you two. As well, he gives them a grand tour, saying there's 5 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms, a cargo area, but I'm most probably gathering you two will use it. for training, which doesn't surprise me. And up in the cockpit, there's navigation. There's navigation up in the cockpit. As he just finishes the tour and leaves. As Idril says, this should do. So, should we take this girl out for a test drive? As Deku just nods his head, saying, "Ladies first." As well, Idril just says, "Ooh, a real gentleman." As Deku just says, "That's granted." As they eventually just leave the planet. With a few hours later, they drop out of hyperspace as the alarms start going all over the ship. As Deku just gets out of his seat along with Idril as they both go to see what the problem is in the engine room, which is right at the back. As it turns out that one of the engine bay's motors was severely damaged, and it looked like nobody had repaired it for several years. As they find a spaceport one sector across, as they make a small hyperspace jump to get there a lot faster. As they land and get it repaired, which takes up all of their money, all of their credits. As Idril says, "Well, we might have to become bounty hunters to start earning money again." As Deku says, "No doubt." Well, there's no point standing around here. Let's go and find some bounties, shall we? As Idril agrees, saying, "Yes, let's." As they find one for the huts. And it's, well, just a bunch of people who have stolen from the huts and their most prized possessions, which are artifacts of the old Hut Empire, that they just want back. And the Huts were willing to pay a small fortune to get them. Now, Izuku knows of the Huts and knows that they are gangsters, but this certain Hut that was willing to pay for them was actually known as an honourable Hut who honours her deals. Well, honours their deal. The deals that they do. As they find the artifacts, have a small skirmish with these pirates who turn out to be part of the Black Suns. Or the Black Suns. No racist comment meant for that. It's just the way they are called. As Idril just grabs the artifacts and puts them in the cargo hold, strapping them down nice and securely. As she says, whatever possessed those guys to steal from the huts? They know it's a bad idea crossing them. As Deku just chimes in saying, not everybody's willing to just stay clear of the huts. A lot of people will still find the huts just greedy slime balls that need to have some things stolen. Trust me, I've met one of the huts on one of my missions with my mother and uncle. The huts don't take having their stuff stolen lightly. I hear Jabba the Hutt is one such hut. I'm just glad we're nowhere near Tatooine. Don't think I'll be able to deal with the heat there. As usual, just says same. Eventually, they get to their rendezvous point, which is over Nal Hutta in its spaceport. As they get off, they meet their contact. As this hut stands there saying, well, in English, welcome, welcome, welcome to Nal Hutta. I assume you two are the two Mandalorians that went to get our priceless artifacts. I apologize for how inconvenient they must be. But you know how business works. I couldn't risk sending my own men, because let's just say they're not as adequate with a blaster like you two. As they say, no problem. But why do you not trust your men? As he just points, saying, they're my men, as three of them fall over drunkenly. As he says, my men are nothing but drunks. If I cannot find a way to keep them occupied and away from booze, this happens. But anyway, that's my problem to deal with. Here's your credits. You may go now. I'll try and get these artifacts back to the proper place that they belong. Good day, Mandalorians. As he slithers away, as three men who are not drunk grab the artifacts. As they all leave. Eventually, they get back on their ship after checking to see if nothing has been broken or stolen, which luckily nothing has been, because they upgraded everything to have turrets looking all over the place. As they leave for Earth. As they finally arrive from Earth to Earth's system, they head for the planet's surface. As they land in a very secluded area that has a massive dome-like structure a few hundred meters away. As they activate a stealth field, as the ship turns completely invisible as they land behind this huge facility. Deku and Idril walk out, saying, as Deku says, it's good to be home. As Idril just says, don't get used to it. We won't be here for long. Well, as she reminds herself, saying, no, we will be. Saying, no, correction. We will be here for a while, so you can get used to it again. And I got to admit, this place is rather beautiful. And Deku says, I know, right? It's gorgeous. As, well, Deku continues walking, they see a bus full of kids. Okay, this is the Class 1A group. Ezreal drags him off to the side, saying, I can't get spotted. As they walk inside the USJ, thinking that they will be safe. Oh, how wrong they were. They walk inside and realise they're inside of this huge facility. And by this point, these two have actually got their jetpacks, so they can fly. As they see the doors opening, and all of the Class 1A group walks out. Eventually, they see a portal open, and a massive amount of people walk out. But they also see portals opening in different places. There's more people walk out of them. As Idril asks Deku, what's going on? As Deku says, these people are bad. That's all you need to know right now. As Idril just says, oh come on, don't play this game with me. Who are these guys? As Deku says, villains. My home has this world has a hero versus villain problem. Good versus evil. Isidro sort of chuckles, saying, really? No, I really want to stay here just to really teach these guys something. About fear and all that. About fear and villainous things. Deku just punches her in the arm, saying, stop it. We're here for a task. So let's not get spotted. As they see one man with a scarf and black hair jump down to face everybody, Izuku just says, damn, he's bold. That guy's bold for going down there to face all them. As Idril says, do you want to go down there? I said, do you want to go in there? Give him a hand? As Deku just says, well, we can't really get involved. We're meant to keep ourselves hidden. So, that's what we'll do. As the same thing happens in canon. As, well, the Noma gets called out. As Shigaraki says, Nomu, kill these brats. As instead of the Nomu attacking Aizawa, Bakugo, Kirishima, and Todoroki, the Nomu goes off in a different direction as Shigaraki says, Nomu, get back here! As he says, Kirigiri, bring that Nomu back. As Kirigiri says, sure. But when Kirigiri finds where the Nomu is, he finds out that there's two individuals with armor that he doesn't recognize looking down at him. As he wonders who they are, as the Nomu, with blinding speed, goes up behind both of them as they say, what the hell? As they get punched, sending them flying towards the front entrance. Shigaraki sees them and says, "Who the hell are they?" As they both activate their jetpacks and land, well, and sort of fly above the the 1A students as they both hit the floor. Idril losing her footing and sort of rolling as Deku actually stops and grabs her from the from the arm, picking her up. As they nod to each other, as the Nomu comes running at them, trying to punch them. As somebody says, "Hey, you two, watch out!" As they dodge the Nomu's punch, and they both deliver a punch of their own. Idril's not doing much, but Deku's forcing the Nomu back. Well, forces the Nomu back. As Shigaraki does his old monologue saying, "It's too late, heroes. Well, the Nomu has shock absorption, rapid regeneration, the whole kit and caboodle. He's enough to kill All Might." As Deku just says, "Huh, the number one hero. And this thing got pushed back by me. Something it can kill a hero, this thing is. Not even worth All Might's attention." As Shigaraki says, "What? What do you mean it's not worth his attention? It's standing up against you, isn't it?" As Deku just says, "Yeah, it's standing up against us." But as he sort of does a gunslinger thing and pulls out his weapon and shoots the Nomu in the head, killing it. As it falls backwards, as Deku says, its brain's exposed, so it's easy to find and kill. As Shigaraki says, "No, no, no. He cheated. Gary, let's get out of here." As Kirigiri opens up a portal and they leave. As Aizawa, who didn't get banged up, wraps them both up in cloth, as he says, "Who the hell are you guys?" As All Might busts down the door. As he says, "Have no fear, 'cause I am here," with a really angry look on his face, only for it to go into a bit of a, "Huh? What the hell happened here" face. As he sees Aizawa with two people in a lot of armour and with what looks like jetpacks, as All Might walks down, saying, "Aizawa, who are these two and what the hell happened here?" As Aizawa just says, "All right, took your time getting here." As Deku just says, "Well, this is awkward. Just to let you know, we did not want to be here. We were just hired to look out on this place, keep an eye on it. We were hired by an anonymous fella. He didn't give us a name." As Deku tries to play it off that he didn't know what was going on, with Aizawa saying, "Don't lie. You were hired by the villains to try and kill Class 1A, weren't you?" As Deku says, "No, you got it wrong, sir." With his helmet still on, saying all that. So to them, it sounds like he's buying for time. As Aizawa really gets angry and says, "Look, I don't care. You two are going to prison for this. As Todoroki says Aizawa, they killed whatever that no move thing was. I think even if they go to prison, they will be like the top dogs. I think even the prison guards will be scared of them. Izudril just points saying, I like that kid already. He's got a good head on him. And she pulls out a blade and cuts the cloth off, saying, and if you want to try and hold me in place, you gotta try a lot harder than that. As she points to Deku, saying, don't you dare come out with a joke. As he raises his hand, saying, I wasn't going to. And she says, good, because I don't want to hear it. As even All Might sort of was like, do we need to know anything about you two? As Idril just says, just so you know, me and him work together on a regular basis, so me and him are very used to each other's company. Nothing that you need to be worried about. As All Might says, can we see your faces? As she says, no, you cannot. As Deku says, this is the way. As this is somewhat related to the Mandalorian, I'm going to say someone actually says, wait, this is the way? What are you guys, cross-playing Mandalorians or something? As Deku and Idril look over to, I'm going to say it's Kirishima, saying, precisely. But we are not just this, because we are Mandalorians. Well, Idril says that. Deku sort of says, Idril, you shouldn't have said that. As she says what? Says what? And as Deku just says, you just told him who we were. As she sort of says, blast it. Sorry. As All Might picks it up, saying, what do you mean? What aren't you telling us? As Idril says, nothing. We're telling you nothing. Because this is personal. So All Might says, it's not personal now because I just heard you say something. As even Aizawa says, so you might as well just come clean. Who do you work for? As Deku says, fine. As Idril says, you might as well tell them now. Because I don't think they're going to stop. As Deku says, I know. As he cuts himself out of the rope. Well, out of the cloth. As he says, we work for Mandalore. As Aizawa sniggers and laughs and says, yeah, right. Mandalore. And where can we find this Mandalore? On Mandalore. Oh, wait. This planet doesn't have space technology like ours, does it? As Idril says, no. No, they do not. They can't even go into hyperspace. As Aizawa says, saying, so what? You guys are aliens? As Idril and Izuku nod, saying, pretty much, yeah. We're aliens. As Aizawa again laughs, saying, come on, you expect me to believe that? As Izuku brings out the blaster again, saying, pretty much, as he fires a shot up in the sky. Saying, that was a real shot. and that could kill you with a single. A single one of these could kill you, Mr. Aizawa. Or should I call you Eraserhead? As Shoto Aizawa sort of takes a step back, saying, "How the hell did you know my name?" As Deku sort of says, "I did a bit of research on this planet before coming here." And sort of accidentally says, "Plus I used to live here some time ago." And unfortunately, somebody was in earshot of that. As he walks up and says, "Who are you?" And somebody went missing some time ago. His name is Azuka Midoriya. Did you kidnap him and his mother? As Deku sort of says, "Shit, Bakugo. Shit, Bakugo's here. How do I get myself out of this one?" As Bakugo sort of berates him, saying, "Come on, answer me, goddammit. Did you kidnap my friend or not?" As Deku says, "No, we did not. No, we did not kidnap him. He came willingly along with his mother." As Idril elbows him, saying, "Shut up." As he just says, "I'm telling him what I know, okay?" As Bakugo says, "Bring him back here. Right now." As he gets told, "No, I can't." Well, as Deku says, making up a lie, saying, "No, I can't bring him here. He's with his people." As Bakugo says, "His people are on this planet. We are his people." As Deku says, "No, as in Mandalorian, as Mandalore, the homeworld of all Mandalorians. We are his true people." Took him some time to get over the fact that he wasn't actually a human from Earth. There are other humans out there in the galaxy that do not originate from this planet. Some of them are good, some of them are evil. As Idril says, and unlike those people, we Mandalorians, as she sort of pounds her chest, as she says that, we have a code of honor. They don't. As All Might perks up, saying, "But you guys took a child. That's the most villainous thing you guys have done." As as Deku just presses a few buttons, as he activates his jetpack, as he flies off. Well, flies up into the sky, along with Idril, grabbing Idril's arm and taking off. As she activates her own, as they say, "Sorry, we'd love to stay and chat, but we've got a mission of our own to do." As they, go through the roof. Now, All Might is very annoyed because of these two so-called Mandalorians. He's never heard of them, apart from the Mandalorian TV series, which I highly suggest you guys watch. It's funny as hell. As eventually, the police turn up. All Might tells everybody not to say a word about these Mandalorians, because for as far as they can be concerned by, they are nothing but vigilantes. As All Might goes to, just goes back to Well, to Principal Nezu. As he says to Nezu, speaks to Nezu about these so-called Mandalorians. As Nezu comes out with saying, it's possible, All Might, that they're telling the truth. As All Might says, how could that even be possible? As Nezu just says, it just could be possible. Who knows what's out there in the wider galaxy? If what what these two said was true, then they could literally be thousands upon trillions of individual life forms out there. We just never know. And like you said, this one, they said that some places are good, and there are a lot of other places that are bad. And I don't think they're vigilantes if they said that they're here on a job from this Mandalore person. It's possible that this Mandalore, as they said, is their homeworld and they obey their homeworld, or it's their homeworld and the name of their leader. We just don't know. We got no information on them. So just says, what if I bring them in for questioning? As Nezu says, that won't do. They may just as easily escape us as they escape everybody else. You can't just rely on your brute strength. As All Might says, I know, but we have to do something. As Principal Nezu says, I'm sorry, All Might, but we can't. I'll have an array of contacts, keeping an eye out for them. As going now back to Deku and Idril, they land in a secluded area. As Idril takes off a helmet, saying, what the hell was that about? Are you trying to get us killed by Mandalore? As Tsuku takes off his helmet, saying, no, I'm trying to get us a bit of breathing room. All that information I gave him was true and false. He has to try and figure out that by himself. Not unless he already has somebody on his side that is mega smart. Okay, Principal Nezu. As Idril says, I need to find that thing. I think Mandalore called it a holocron. As Deku says, yeah, I have a rough idea where that is. But that'll be easy because, well, I recognise this area pretty well. We're only a few hours away from my original home. As Idril says, oh goody. I wonder if there's any embarrassing images of you when you were young. As Deku says, most probably knowing my mother. As they walk off. Eventually reaching Izuku's old house, as they open the door and get in and scavenge for the holocron, which Idril finds. And luckily nobody has found their ship, so she stashes it aboard. As Deku finds more information about the handle. But anyway, guys, I am going to leave it here. Like, comment, subscribe. Hope you have a good night or good day. And the next one will be out tomorrow. Peace.